speak and say it as it is. 2 years after the catastrophic crash of the Lufthansa-owned Germanwings airlines in the Alps, Europe's largest carrier now says that the worst is behind and they are upbeat about 2017. In his first interview to an Indian television news channel, Carsten Spohr, the chairman and CEO of Lufthansa, told me earlier today that protectionist rhetoric was the single biggest threat to the world and India was doing everything right at a time like this. Here's more. The global aviation market is set to double by 2035 and India will be a key contributor to that growth. International Air Transport Association or IATA reckons that in 10 years' time India will displace the United Kingdom as the third largest aviation market, and Europe's leading player Lufthansa is banking on that growth. The company recently brought in the world's most fuel-efficient aircraft, the Airbus A350, to the country.
Well, there's a clear focus in the strategy of Lufthansa to be premium. Made in Germany equals made by Lufthansa. Also, of course, our Swiss brand, which we bring to this market, show that we believe on the upper end of the market, on the premium segment, which more and more is developing in this part of the world. And for that, we need our newest product. We have a consistent new business class on all of our 10 flights we operate to India every day. And that, I think, makes us number one, not only our huge portfolio of destinations beyond our hubs in Europe, but also our focus on quality, and this market shows the strategy pays off.
So what are the things, when your team in India, when they make these plans, the India plans, are there certain regulatory challenges also that you feel that, that's something that perhaps worries you or concerns you that needs to be addressed?
Well, I think there's a joint worry of the European aviation industry and of the Indian aviation industry. And this is the fact that we have between us in the Gulf unfair competition, which unfortunately is not being applied towards the same rules as all other industries are in the World Trade Organization. And that this imbalance of trade, I think, has concerned us in the past. It still concerns us. I think this is true for the Indian industry as well. And our answer, of course, towards this is premium non-stop products between India and Europe. And that is what our success has been building on in the last year.
So, talking about the state intervention or the state support being given to airlines, in India, of course, one of India's largest airlines is state-owned. And I think in the past also you have had, you've had your views about Air India as well, being controlled and being, where the government is the principal owner. Is it time now you feel that purely, again, stemming from this argument that, about state support being given to airlines, changing the competitive landscape, that perhaps India really needs to look at privatizing Air India, which, by the way, is something that the government, we understand, is considering at this stage?
Well, I think there's more and better experts in India on the issue of Air India than somebody from Germany. Air India is an important partner in Star Alliance. We are glad to have them. And we can only share our own history. We were government-owned and were privatized in the 90s. And that has helped Lufthansa to build its global scale to become the #1 airline group in the world. And
which would not have happened if it was still government-owned.
That is most likely the case. And we had our challenges. Some of the structures we still inherited from government-owned times are challenged now. So we have to overcome resistance from unions, resistance from airports, resistance from air traffic control. But Lufthansa is overcoming this resistance to continue to play a leading role in a more and more liberalized aviation scheme. And we're proud to be a winner in this game, but probably being privatized was definitely a helpful element in our history in this regard.
So then therefore, if the government is looking at privatizing Air India, they might be better served to actually look at Lufthansa's turnaround from the mid-90s onwards.
I'll leave it to the Indians to look for their own examples to look at.
Lufthansa will also be starting Mumbai-Brussels flight in the coming months, and the chairman assures 2017 will be an action-packed year for the German carrier. In New Delhi, Ranajay Banerjee.